After going through film and what have you, what did you see? What kind of thoughts did you have on the opener that you could take into week 2?
The same, thing I kind of echoed when I talked to you as far as like the execution. I feel like it was the first game. Obviously, it's going to be some things we need to iron out. And watching it on tape, we kind of got the refresher, like we need to be on the details. And, we kind of got what we needed. So, having some time to think about it, flushed it, moving on to the next week, and we're trying to be better.
How good do you think you can be against Miami as a group?
Obviously they got some good ball players over there. They got a great defense that flies around. So kind of looking forward to the challenge as always. But just got to own it on the details. It's more about us rather than everybody else. Just as far as like we got to do everything in our power. The details, route depth, getting open, catch the ball, the same shit that we get paid to do. So that's more of the focus.
Steph, the first game in 10 months, just how did the body feel?
Oh, I felt good. I actually missed the contact portion of it as far as like getting hit a little bit. So I look forward to getting back out there. I'm more thankful for anything. I hate losing. Obviously, I wasn't too happy about that, but at the same time, took a lot from it as far as like me getting back out there, getting acclimated again and getting some contact and catching the ball again. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Did you feel like you kind of got stronger as the game went? And if so, was that a kind of a positive for you?
Not so much. I came in pretty confident as far as like how I felt body-wise. It was just more so just getting back out there. The first game of the season. It's no different than if I never got hurt. As far as like that first game, you kind of gotta get adjusted again. And I'm around a bunch of new guys too. As far as like getting their temperament and their energy, and I'm still learning. Still new. So as far as like getting stronger, I felt pretty strong. I just wish it wasn't raining.
How much do you appreciate it? How much
Yeah.
say looking back on it now, this is what I love to do?
Yeah, it was like. We weren't winning, so like it was for a moment I couldn't be too happy. But as far as like, this isn't a selfish sport. Like for me, I just kind of took my little moment to be be grateful, and kind of bask in the ambiance of where I was. I'm back doing what I love, trying to play at a high level, getting open, catching the ball. So I had my moments where I was like, damn, I missed it so much, and I'm just so thankful to be back where what I love to do. For me, I had that moment, but at the same time I was losing, so it was like bittersweet.
You talked on Sunday about Drake being hard on himself. And
Those lights made me sweat a little bit. Go ahead.
You talked Sunday about how Drake's hard on himself and how
Yeah.
you guys need to lift him up. What does that look like to you? Is it like having direct conversations with him throughout the week?
Nah, as far as like going on the practice field, I feel like the coaches do all the kind of the preparing. We kind of do our portion, but they put us in the best situation to be successful. So for us, as a receiver, you just want to have that open dialogue, especially with a young guy. He can play at a high level, so just being there for him consistently, I think a lot of positive reinforcement rather than like ripping a guy would be obviously helpful. So and I think he could take it. I feel like he's a tough guy too as well. He's not a softie or nothing. I would never say that. So as far as like just being there for him and having that open dialogue, if you see something, let me know, that open line of communication. And being a receiver, I imagine it's a lot easier being a quarterback.
You talked about details in that game. That's something that's been echoed by a lot of guys on offense. Is there anything that you feel like you can do differently as a group in terms of your preparation on offense going into this week?
Yeah, kind of expanding on that point. The details part of it is I guess it's just like the main thing for us. As far as like having skilled guys and having guys that can make plays at a high level, it's all about the details. And, as far as like that communication during the week before you get to the game, so you're prepared for anything that could happen out there. So I just feel like taking that next step is going to be crucial. As far as like being on the details, having that open line of communication before the game. Things kind of happen on the fly, and you got to adjust. But it's good that we got it out the way, and moving forward, we're trying to be on the up and up.
How does building rapport with a quarterback differ when you're going up against a zone team or zone coverages versus more man coverage?
I don't think it differs too much. I just think it's more so just doing your job for like, this is the same football we all been playing for a very long time. There's not a brand new, a lot of new coverages out there. You're just moving pieces and, different guys with different jersey numbers. So as far as like building that rapport, just be where you're supposed to be. You'll build that as you get open and catch the ball. So I feel like that's how you build a rapport. That's how you build that relationship. Just get open and catch them.
How much do you appreciate the road and going into hostile territory? You look like you have fun when you do that. Getting out of there with a win, most important.
Yeah, I was about to curse again. I'm sorry. It's super exciting, especially for me. Like, I like going in with my guys, going in with my teammates. And, it's us against the world. Like, I feel like a lot of guys react well as far as like putting their back against the wall. So, we didn't start off too hot, and obviously we got a lot of fixing with just us. So going in there with the right mindset is going to be key, and trying to play fast. So for me, I'm obviously excited to get back out there. This is only going to be my second game, so obviously I'm excited. I just want to get back to work right now.
How confident you can be grow individually as you go week to week now through everything that you've gone through, that first game now and all those kind of things.
Yeah, it's good. Like, obviously, getting tackled helped a lot. You know, I didn't want to escape that game without getting hit a little bit, so I was seeking a little bit of contact. And I don't really love to get hit at all. Obviously, I play receiver, but I needed it a little bit. I needed to get out there and hit the ground a little bit, catch a couple passes. So for me, I'm just trying to build off of it. Obviously, I've been playing the game for a long time, so I know what it takes to, prepare the right way, get out there, and, you only can put yourself in a position to have an opportunity to win. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you're going to win, but you can do everything in your power to put yourself in the best position. So that's what I'm doing now.
Stefon, in terms of just seeing the stuff from last game, what you think is correctable, how much of it do you think is quickly correctable?
I think pretty fast. Like, I swear, like that first game, you get out there, you haven't seen these guys. Obviously, you can watch tape from last year, you can watch the preseason, but it's always a tell of two stories. So for us, I feel like the things that we need to fix is more us rather than anything. It's never like really the other team. Like, obviously, guys have skill guys that can play and they're all world. Like, for example, like Max Crosby's an amazing player. You know what I'm saying? Do I feel like we could have did better stuff on the outside, trying to get open faster or trying to be where we're supposed to be? Obviously, we live in that realm of just farming your own land. Like, I try to farm my own land. Like, be where you're supposed to be open, catch the ball, and we'll kind of figure it out from there. So the fixes that we can do, I feel like it's more internal and just with us. So trying to take that next step and just doing our part.
Producing your own crops, right?
Yeah, so I say farm your own land. You can't, listen, if I could go block Max Crosby, I promise you I would try and I would not do a good job. So I just got to do what I can.
You seem like you want to get out there right now.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm obviously a little frustrated, but I'm trying to smile it off. But I'll be seeing y'all in a couple of days. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
We're getting ready to prepare this week, our first practice, and so yeah, got a couple of good days of practice and see how everything goes.
What is your mentality just in terms of the impact you're trying to have it down in Miami?
Yeah, the biggest thing, we got to prepare hard and put the work in, each and every day, and so our preparation will really prepare us, for the game and for Miami.
Mike talked about the culture after that first game and said, it's on the leaders of this team to really turn the page.
Mm-hmm.
How well do you think the leaders in this locker room have done in terms of flushing that and moving on to Miami?
I think they've done a good job. I think the biggest thing is starting with our head coach, Coach Vrabel. He has done a really good job of helping us. The biggest thing is like we gotta get through this. We gotta get prepared for Miami. These weeks they go by quick, and so we gotta let go of what happened last week. And the biggest thing is how can we learn and grow from the mistakes we made and prepare for Miami.
Just how are you feeling now with one regular season game under your belt in terms of how you can go about your preparation now?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I thank God for getting me through the first one, and so now it's time for the second one, and so we'll see how it all goes. I'm excited.
How much of a load off is that, just getting the first one under your belt now, like just hitting that stride?
Yeah, it feels good. It's great. First regular season game. It's definitely different than the preseason, but like I said, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Got a long season ahead, and so got to keep it going.
How would you evaluate the run game on Sunday, and what's the key in kind of getting things going a bit more this upcoming week?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, we got to prepare just all across the board, not just the run game, but the whole team. We got a lot of work to still do, and so we got practice today, a long week ahead, and so got to get ready to prepare.
TreVeyon, how dynamic do you think you can be in this offense, considering you can line up out wide and add to the run game?
Yeah, I thank God for the the abilities and gifts He's given me, but it's a lot of work that got to continue to go in it. And so the biggest thing for me is just like I can't just rely on the gifts. Like I got to be a good steward and try to come to practice every day and work as hard as I can and try to push myself and not get complacent. And so I'm always praying, that God continues to push me outside of my comfort zone. And I feel like just being in this organization, being under Coach Vrabel, he definitely does a good job of doing that, of just pushing all of us outside of our comfort zone so we can get better.
Marcus, how big of a challenge do you have this week with what they have?
Yeah, first off, Miami is a great team. They have explosive, players on the offensive side and everything like that, and have great players on the defensive side as well.
What's the challenge of the wide receivers? Waddle, all the way through Hill, company.
Yeah, the offense they work really good off of timing. Tyreek, fast, vertical threat and everything, and then Waddle as well.
And how much is disrupting that timing? Mike talked about having to have both the secondary and the D-line working together in sync. How important is that?
Yeah, team defense is a big part whenever it comes to teams like this. They have A-Chain as a running back and everything. He has a very big pivotal role in their offense, and then making sure we mess up the timing is very important.
How much is limiting those explosive plays an emphasis this week, especially with this team?
Oh, it's very important. It's important every week, especially with this team for sure. We're going to see these guys 2 times a year, so making sure that, we take it 1 week at a time and kind of go from there is very important.
You've been around here a while now. What's so difficult about going down there to play?
People talk about the heat a lot. Yeah, it is pretty humid out there, but I'm originally from the South, so for my sake, it feels like great weather out there. But yeah, heat is a big thing, especially being up here. It's a little bit of a difference and everything like that, and humidity plays a big role when it comes to playing those guys.
Obviously, it was just one game, but did you notice any noticeable differences in the Dolphins' offense this time around?
I wouldn't say I've noticed a whole bunch of differences. They always motion 24/7 on every single play, so we always make sure to communicate on those things. But they try to get their playmakers the ball at the end of the day, so that's mainly their offense for sure.
Marcus, Mike just told us Terrell Williams is going to be away from the team for at least a couple of days, depending, and Zach would probably be the one who assumes that role because Zach was doing that during the spring. And do you feel more comfort with that sort of guy, and do you feel comfort in general with the sort of change there?
Yeah, everyone in the building, we're always on the same page whenever it comes to those things, so I have no doubt in Zach at all.
What did you learn about Zach during the time that he was sort of calling the shots, if you will?
Yeah, both of those guys, T and Zach, whenever it comes down to just being in the room, their energy and everything is top notch, so I love that from both of those guys.
Did Terrell talk to you guys about his leave?
Yeah, he did talk to us about it and everything, and he was talking about that Zach would end up, playing a big role, and then we're there to support him, 24/7 and everything. So.
It's only been brief with him. What's Terrell like?
Oh, great people. He always lets us know, the things that we do good, and if we're not doing something good, the standard that he has for us and the team. And at the end of the day, he's one of those guys to always, keep it honest with us. So we love him for that.
Just like what Seth said, it starts with us. So we just got to hold each other to a higher standard and continue to improve.
What's the challenge of a road game to begin with, going down to Miami, where you guys, it's going to be hot, what have you? What's it take physically, mentally to come out of there with a win?
Yeah, I think just all 11 of us being tied in, playing next to each other together, great communication, especially when you're on the road, depending on, however loud it's going to be, whether that's, mix up the cadence, whatever that is. I'm sure we'll talk about that as the week goes on, but the biggest component is just communicating with the guy to your left and your right and making sure all 11 are tied in.